All right. So before we begin today, I want to just share a little bit of like housekeeping information. And so for those who are here live and for those who are going to see this on the replay, um, just a reminder, just a shout out that I am co-hosting a retreat with Danny or Daniela, um, who she is one of my favorite human beings on the entire planet. Many of you know her. If you don't, you really should. Um, and that is going to be this October, October 4th to 10th, and it's at La Ruca in Puerto Viejo. La Ruca Hostel is Danny's hostel. She's had it for about 14, 15 years. That's her baby. That's her labor of love. Um, and we're combining forces to host a retreat. So I've been here in Puerto Viejo for 13 years, coming up on 14. Um, the retreat is going to be much more heavily focused on pranayama, so breath work and somatic practices. So a lot more getting into our bodies, getting into our breath and shaking up energy. We're also going to be doing more community-based excursions, right? So those who were with me and Tammy in Dominical Uvita area. I only lived there for about 6 months. So it was not as rooted in the community. Just life circumstances were different. This time it's much more based in our shared experiences of living in Puerto Viejo. So really using Puerto Viejo, using our connections and our knowledge with the retreat, with the experience. So October 4th to 10th this year, coming up in just a couple months. And what I really want to say is if you want to come and the reason that you're not coming is financially based, please message me. Please reach out to me. Um, the reason that I do Breathe With Me for free every Sunday is that I wholeheartedly believe that wellness should not be only for those who can afford wellness, right? There is a closed door for many of these experiences, for retreats, for body work, for, practices that are for our better health. And as many things go, they've been tainted by capitalism, and now only the elite essentially, and many of us here are the elite. Sometimes we might not feel like it, but if you really stop and think about it, the people who have access to do things like a retreat in Costa Rica, it's a very small percentage of humans on the planet. And knowing that and honoring that, please message me if you want to come, if you want to participate, and finances is what is stopping you. And I know there's all these other things that have to line up to be able to come, right? You have to be able to get time off work. You have to have someone watch your pets, someone help with your kids. I mean, there's all the things in order to get to a retreat. But if finances are what is holding you back, message me. Okay. I just want to make that very clear. Um, because I feel like a lot of this industry, the wellness industry, the retreat industry, it becomes a bit of a closed door session because of money. So that's the housekeeping. I wanted to say that. Breathe With Me in Puerto Viejo, October 4th to 10th, and please reach out. Okay. So we're going to dive right in. And I want to talk a little bit this morning about something that has been coming up for me at least for a few weeks, and I've thought about sharing it, and then I've almost chickened out, and I don't know why. Uh, It's just interesting how sometimes, we can have thoughts flying around in our mind and we still can't really figure out how to share them. So I didn't grow up religious. I did not grow up in any church. I was not raised in any religion or in any framework of spirituality. And I have a lot of my own biases and, the lens in which I view organized religion and the dogma of religion and the institutions of churches. And I'm skeptical, right? And I've also had life experiences through my own avenues. Um, where I do believe that there is, something greater than ourselves, right? Like there is something going on. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. I don't know that I believe in a God, some entity sitting up in the clouds controlling things. But this idea of prayer has been coming up. It's been reflected to me through different conversations with different people. And sometimes they're using the word prayer. They're actually saying, well, I prayed on it. And for me, that word is a little bit triggering when people are talking about prayer because I wasn't raised in a religion and I do have some bias towards religion, in particular Christianity. So when I hear prayer, I get a little bit like, okay. But I've been thinking about worry and prayer and how I think they're just two sides of the same coin, right? And I am someone who has tended towards worry for a lot of my life. I tend towards worry. I still do. I am actively um, trying not to as much, but worry is something that is it's pretty common for me. And this idea of prayer, and I feel like you can substitute that word for a lot of different things. Some people talk about manifesting. That can also be a little bit of a cringe word depending on how it's being used. But this idea of prayer, of manifesting, of envisioning or imagining is really what it is. It's like I can sit here and I can imagine the absolute worst thing happening, which I do a lot of the time. That's my tendency. That's my autopilot is like, I'm going to think of the absolute worst thing that can possibly happen in any given situation and just stress myself out from the beginning. Or I can imagine everything working out, right? And the best outcome and it going really smoothly. And to me, I'm starting to understand that that is prayer, right? That's prayer is I'm going to focus on what if it all works out, right? Yeah, it could all fall apart. It could also work out. And so I am practicing right now and using meditation to do this, right? That's another thing is meditation for me. I was always thinking of meditation through like the Eastern lens of like yoga, Buddhism. That's who meditates, right? And then prayer is, at the church to God. This is Christianity. This is Catholicism. But I'm starting to understand and feel it in myself, this idea of like sitting to meditate and using visualization to see things working out in the best way that they possibly could. That is my prayer. That is a way to pray. Um, and so I just want to introduce the topic. And maybe some of you are like, yeah, duh, yeah, I know that. And maybe not. And it could relate, it could not relate. But what we're going to do today is we'll do a breathing technique. We'll do some isolated nostril breathing and then some alternate nostril breathing to clear out, really focusing on third eye. And so this space, right, like third eye, Ajna chakra, this is like the mind's eye, which this is where we imagine, right? And once we do the breathing and we clear this space out, kind of like wiping off the screen, then we're going to come into some visualization or some prayer, if you will. about something that you're personally navigating and seeing it work out the best that it could, right? Seeing it all go well. And that's why it's important to clear this space out, because this is the mind's eye. So when I say close your eyes and imagine, for most of us, it's like we're watching a little movie. There's like a projector right here and we're seeing it, right? That's where that takes place. For some of us, it's different. For some of us, it happens maybe in different parts of the system. But that's what I want to focus on today. That's the theme I wanted to introduce because it's been floating around in my world. It's coming up in conversations. I'm noticing it when people are talking about, oh, I prayed on it and then it came and then it happened. And because that word is agitating me, it's bringing something up for me. I know I need to look at it more. So, all of that to say, let's sit up nice and tall. Let's come into our shape. And ideally, we're seated for today's practice. If you absolutely cannot be seated, that's okay. But ideally, we're seated. So let's take a moment here. Let's get ourselves into a nice seated position, whatever it looks like. Nice tall spine, shoulders over the hips, ears over the shoulders, slight tuck of the chin towards the chest, just to be nice and long through the back of the neck. Soften the shoulders so there's as much space as possible between the tops of the shoulders and the bottom of the ears. The hands can rest on the thighs or the knees, palms facing up or palms facing down. Option to connect the thumb and the pointer finger on both hands, Gyan Mudra. Take a few moments here to let that topic, that theme, that conversation wash over us. Maybe take a moment to reflect on your own relationship with prayer, manifesting, envisioning, imagining. How does that sit with you? Is it already a part of your practice and your life? Do you tend towards worry? Do you often imagine the worst thing or the best thing? So just taking the time to see how that lands. I'm starting to send the awareness to the breath, watching the inhale, drawing the air in through the nose, and then watching the exhale out the nose or the mouth. As you inhale, start to focus on third eye, Ajna chakra. So feel as you draw the air in, notice the air passing through third eye center before it moves down into the system. So we watch the air come up through the nose, the nostrils, passing through third eye center, and then entering down into the system. On the exhale, watch it pass through third eye again before it empties out from the body. So using the inhale and the exhale to clean this screen, right? To polish this imagination center, this mind's eye, where we can envision all sorts of outcomes. Few more rounds of breath, drawing the air in, cleaning third eye center. Watch as the inhale moves through the system. And then as it comes up and out of the system, passing through third eye one more time. We will come into isolated nostril breathing. I think everyone here has done some of this with me before. But if you need to open your eyes to see the explanation, please do so. So we'll start by inhaling and exhaling just through the left nostril. So with the right hand, either the pointer finger or the thumb, you'll be closing the right nostril and only inhaling and exhaling through the left. Option to take the left hand and manipulate the cheek, and that can sometimes allow for more air to come in. So setting ourselves up, bringing the hand or hands up to the face. Let's start with a nice deep exhale. Empty all the way out. Empty, 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 empty. Close the right and inhale left. Exhaling through left. So in and out only through the left channel. Nice even pace here. We're not doing anything intense. We're just clearing out this left channel, the lunar channel. We'll go for a few rounds here, so just focus on the breath. I'll tell you when to end. Few more rounds. Watch the inhale, cleansing third eye. The base of your next exhale, you can release your hands to your thighs and come into subtle breath. Inhaling and exhaling through both nostrils now. Feel that difference. Coming back into Gyan Mudra if you choose, connecting thumb and pointer finger, palms resting on thighs, either facing up or facing down. You can take Gyan Mudra in either position, palms up or palms down. We'll work now with the right nostril, the solar channel. So only in and out the right nostril. So when you're ready, you can bring your hand or hands up to your face. Let's start with an exhale here. Let's empty all the way out. Empty, 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 empty. Close the right nostril. Inhale left. Sorry, close left, inhale right. So only in and out the right nostril. You can use your right hand to manipulate the cheek. Do your best here. One side is always more closed than the other, and it changes throughout the day. So one of these will have been easier, one of these will have been more challenging. See if you can be patient with yourself, be patient with the breath, draw in all the way as long as it takes to fill up, and then empty all the way out as long as it takes. Each breath, cleansing third eye. There's a few more rounds here. Do your best. The next time that you fully exhale out the right, fully exhale at the base of that exhale, release your hands to your thighs. Come into subtle breath, recovery breath. Option to take Gyan Mudra, thumb and pointer finger connected, just tips slightly touching. Notice how it feels now, breathing through both channels. Every inhale, polishing third eye. We'll move into alternate nostril breathing now. Just a few rounds here, leaving time for our meditation, prayer. So your choice, either bringing one hand towards the face, or if you want to just stick with pointer fingers, you can come into Rishi Mudra. So use what you know, what you like. Let's start with an exhale. Let's empty all the way out. Empty, 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 empty. Close right. Inhale left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Carry on at your own pace, a few more rounds. The third eye, Ajna chakra, being cleansed and cleaned every time the breath passes through. The next time that you exhale out the left nostril, you can release your hands to your thighs, option to come into Gyan Mudra. And I invite you now to start to imagine in this space of third eye, in your mind's eye, start to imagine what it would look like if your life was less focused on worry, what would it look like if things worked out for you? If there is some goal, some dream that you have that you're working with right now, something you want to bring into fruition, something that you are working towards accepting. Start to imagine it going well. What does it look like? See it in your mind's eye. See it in third eye. Doesn't matter if it's a dream you've held for years that has yet to come true. It doesn't matter what others' opinions are of your vision, of your hope and your desire. Start to see it in your mind's eye. Start to feel in your body how it feels when it works. When the good news happens. If it's hard to see that right now, be patient with yourself. What if it all works out? What if it's better than you can possibly imagine? What if you finally get the thing you want? Breathe in through your nose. Feel as the breath passes through third eye, through this vision. Draw the vision into your body, down into your system. Every inhale passing through third eye, passing through your mind's eye, drawing the vision into your body, into your cells, into the very framework of who you are. If you'd like to stay in this vibration, if you'd like to sit with this vision, you're welcome to do so. Option to join me with one round of Brahmari breath to close the practice. Your hands can stay exactly where they are. Your hands can come into prayer, Namaskar Mudra, or you can place the left hand over the heart and the right hand over the left. Option to do one Brahmari breath to seal the practice or stay in this state of prayer, of meditation. Exhale. Inhale, fill up through the nose. You all have a wonderful Sunday. And I hope that all of your prayers and dreams and hopes come true.